Hello, I am back, and that means one thing. Well, actually, it means two things. It means I'm back, but it also means that I've completed week 1 of SocialEyes. For those of you who don't know what SocialEyes is, it's a program that was put together by the National Autistic Society, and my local autism service is currently rolling it out for individuals on the spectrum. It is for people who potentially would have been in this sort of Asperger's category, high functioning. I don't like the term high functioning, but just as a way of explaining it to you. It's an 8 to 9 week program. I say 8 to 9 weeks. I know that's confusing. The classes last for 8 weeks, and then on the 9th week there's a one-to-one check-in to see how you got on and probably to see if you scored any better because NHS. So this week we did starting a conversation, and that might seem really basic or really obvious to some people, especially those of you who are neurotypical, but when you're autistic it is really difficult. I struggle a lot socially. I'm one of those strange humans that if you put me in a room with 30 to 50 people and I'm like delivering something, like doing a presentation, that doesn't necessarily bother me. And I think it's because I know the rule. I just talk and they're here to listen, and sometimes they might ask questions, but there's not that much interaction involved. Whereas if you put me on a one-to-one basis, then I find that very difficult, especially if it's a new person. I'm twiddling a banana, that's what's going on just underneath the screen. It's not a real banana, it's a squishy banana, just to clarify. So this week we looked at sort of checking questions, skills, tips, tricks, and a really cool sort of statement you can use. I'm going to come back to that at the end because it's the best bit. So yeah, it was a bit odd. I've sort of met, I think, about 7 new people, and that's always nerve-wracking. Additionally nerve-wracking when you are online. So we are using, I think, Microsoft Teams. We're using one of the online platforms. Like this time last year, I didn't even really know what online platforms were, and now I have preferences of online platforms. How bizarre is that? Like there's Zoom, there's Microsoft Teams, there's Collaborate, there's WebEx. I'm going off topic, I'm really sorry. That will happen a lot. So yeah, one of the things I learned this week is called Worm. The skill is Worm, so WORM. And that can help with starting a conversation by thinking W is weather. You can talk about the weather. That's a safe topic. That's a pretty standard, easy, very British topic. O stands for occupation, and that doesn't necessarily mean job. It just means anything that occupies you during your day. That's another topic that's safe, that's easy. R stands for relaxation. What do you do in your spare time? What do you do in your leisure time? And then that sort of hits on M, and M is media. So what was on the television last night, or what have you been watching on YouTube or TikTok or whatever platform you use. These are safe topics, easy questions. For me, it's about, I'm probably one of those people who, even if you're a stranger, like, hello, it's nice to meet you, please can I stroke your dog? That's not necessarily the best way to approach things. So now I can go, hello, the weather's nice today, isn't it? What do you do in your spare time? Do you like Power Rangers? Did you do anything at the weekend to relax? And did you watch Bake Off on telly last night? So you've got those sort of, you're not just going straight into maybe something that's not necessarily appropriate at the beginning. And it's also nice to have those rules because I'm a very rule-driven person, and I like to know where I stand. I like to know what's going on. So yeah, we watched a video of people using open and closed body language, people using the worm technique. Although the video we watched first was supposed to be a demonstration of what not to do, but I sat there thinking I would really like to be friends with that person because they know a lot about the coffee industry. And I thought the other woman was rude because she got her phone out, but it turns out that he wasn't engaging her in a conversation, he was just telling her facts and she wasn't interested. So they weren't, it was collaborating or conversing really. And by default, I learned that's what I do. I just like to throw information at people because if I've learned a cool new fact, like dogs' tongues are antiseptic and otters like to hold hands, like I want everybody to know. But maybe some people don't want to know straight away or at all. Yeah, that's where Worm is going to be useful. We also learnt checking questions, which is quite good because sometimes I don't know whether I'm being annoying or intrusive or if the person wants to talk to me. And we learnt that it's okay to check. So if I saw somebody I know and they're with 3 other people, I could say to them, hello, it's nice to see you, or hello, is now a good time to talk? I have something to ask you, or is later better? And then it's also okay if they say later to say, can I have something a bit more specific like that, about that? Like 3 p.m., 5 p.m., what does later mean? It's okay to ask for what you need and to check things out. One of the key things I learned as well is that hello, how are you doesn't mean hello, how are you? It just means hello, and it's generally not an invitation to say, well, actually I'm having a really bad day because the car park barrier didn't go up and I can't find my book in the library. Yeah, it's not like that. You're just supposed to go, yeah, I'm okay, thanks, how are you? Even if that's not the truth. And that's a bit bizarre to me, but it's good to know. Except there are people who do want to know when they ask, and they tend to be professionals. Like if you have counselling or if you have mentoring and you see them and they ask, they want to know. It's good to hold that in your head. Yeah, it was really useful. I did come away with some questions. I'd still not so good at learning which strangers are okay to talk to and which aren't. So the person running the session was saying that she often goes for a walk in the morning and there's a gentleman that she sees and they always say, hello, how are you? Or it's a nice day, isn't it? And she somehow intuitively knows that he's an okay person to talk to, a good person to talk to. And I need to do some learning on that. They did say that it tends to be the people who look at you or who smile, but that's quite difficult because I don't tend to make eye contact and I will either look down or be engaged in my surroundings. So, but that's okay because I'm just checking on the list and eye contact is next week. So that's good. The topics we're going to cover are, we've done starting a conversation, next week is eye contact, then we do personal space, taking turns in a conversation, keeping on topic, talking about interests, sensitive topics, and ending a conversation. So that's the programme, that's what we're going to be doing. And yeah, so far it's going well. I'm enjoying it. I've met a few new people. I did get a bit upset at one point because I'm very literal and the person presenting used the phrase break the ice or ice breaking, and at that time we were also talking about the W from worm, which was weather, and I was confused thinking we were now talking about icy weather and we weren't. So yeah, that did make me a bit sad, and I did start to feel like I was the least functional person there or the most inept, which is a thing that's just bothers me a lot as a human. I think because a number of people in the group have jobs and I don't work, I'm not employed, and I also don't really know whether that would be possible for me, and to see that I've always held that as maybe as an autism thing, that I don't want to limit anyone's prospects in life. If you're autistic and you're employed, that's absolutely amazing, but just for me, I'd always thought, okay, I'm not very good at this, I'm going to blame autism because that means I don't have to blame myself, but then to see other autistic people who are in the world of work and seem to be doing very well did make me think, okay, so it's not the autism necessarily, but then we're all different, aren't we? We're on a spectrum, we're all very different, so maybe one day I will find a job or a role that suits me, and I can use them as inspiration as well. It doesn't just have to be a negative thing. It was really good to see that there are autistic people who are in these job roles. But yeah, I found that potentially I wasn't picking things up as quickly as other people, or that they had more insight or understanding, but maybe that was just the topic and we'll see how things go. So, but overall, I would 100% recommend SocialEyes at this point. I am looking forward to this week, and yeah, I hope you all have a nice week too. Thank you for watching.